Can you believe it? The Better Made Factory Tour.
We got to keep these factory tours going.
We did Jiffy,
Chomped it.
Quality Dairy,
Hole in one.
the Kentucky Bourbon Trail.
We drink that right up.
And now we just gotta keep riding that wave. Hi, I'm James Brains with the Brains Report, and this is my wife Erin Brains, who also works for the Brains Report. And we're gonna talk about our experiences touring the Better Made Snack Foods factory, where they make the potato chips, potato sticks, and popped corn.
Popcorn. They also make the Better Made Snack Foods factory makes pork rinds and licorice, and seasonally sometimes when the raw material costs aren't super prohibitive, they make chocolate covered potato chips, and those are some of my favorite things to get at Christmas. And then we use the tins forever. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. We so we got to chat with the Vice President of Purchasing, Phil Gusmano, who's worked at Better Made for about 30 years. And he shared all sorts of amazing information like that really made us kind of think. And this was before and after the tour that they talked to us and during the tour, but we couldn't really hear them.
Oh, it's so loud.
Yeah.
So they've always been in Detroit, and they employ about 280 people. And he said about 75% of them live in Detroit. So they really are a local Detroit company. And much of their packaging really reflects their pride of being a Detroit-based company, like their popcorn over here, the Detroit mix, which is so good. It's caramel and cheese together.
Now, I heard that they're a union company, Erin. Is that true?
Oh, yes. They are so proud of providing a living wage. He was saying that they're probably one of the highest non-automotive jobs as far as like highest paying in the Detroit area.
Oh.
And they've been union, since they were started, it sounds like.
Happy people make better tasting food. I stole her line.
Yeah.
That's a line, Erin.
No, as well when we were talking with Phil.
Yeah.
And I figured it was worth saying it again, but yeah.
And they're also proud to source 95% of their taters from right here in Michigan. And actually all the salt and cardboard packaging also, and some of the spices for the seasonings, they come from Michigan. And this leads to a snowballing economic impact, which is why Michigan is prospering so much and why you hear about it everywhere.
Yeah.
We're kind of a cool state.
We are a cool state. I found out, and I double checked this fact, but Michigan is the most agriculturally diverse state.
What about California?
Second to California, and that's the only one that's more agriculturally diverse than we are. So, we're surrounded by lakes, so we've got the water. And yes, the seasons are crazy, but one of the things I love about Michigan is in the summer, everything is growing. It's so cool.
So green.
Tell me more about potatoes, James.
Okay, well, you might think Idaho, they're the potato people. They do russet potatoes. Michigan has the chipping potatoes, and we supply the most chipping potatoes in the country. I bet you didn't know this. 1 out of every 4 bags of chips in the entire United States is made from potatoes right here in Michigan.
Yep.
And yeah, that's not just Better Made, that's all brands.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. We didn't know chipping potatoes were a thing before we started really looking into Better Made. We knew about yellow potatoes and red potatoes and russets, but you learn something new. The base potato definitely makes an impact on the product, and the rainbow chips that are some people's favorites, good thing that wasn't open, really do give a great example of that. So we're going to go ahead and shoot it over to Phil to tell us more about how rainbow chips came to be.
One of the most popular products that you guys offer was the rainbow dark potato chips. How did they come about?
So it's really interesting questions you have. So back in the 40s, as a potato gets older in the season, it has starches, and those starches actually turn to sugar over time. And so, if you've ever had caramelized onions,
Oh yeah.
all right. So when
Yeah.
you fry onions, they get brown. Same thing happens with a chip because the starch turns to sugar as you cook it. They actually the sugars caramelize and you get a distinct taste. So they're not actually burnt, but they are. It's like a caramelized sugar in the potato chip. And so back in the 40s, as those potatoes, like you'd get one or two that would start happening to out of the whole batch, and we would pick those out. And at the end of the day, we would put them in a bag. And people would come up and buy them, and so there was a huge demand for it. So we kind of worked with Michigan State University and figured out a way to have potatoes grown that actually have a higher sugar content. So when we fry, so now by design we're making potato chips that have higher sugar, and then they caramelize when you cook them, and you get the brown color.
That's beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And just out of curiosity, were they? I imagine the ones that seemed like they were burnt, the caramelized ones that were sold separately, were those considered like bad and you'd sell them for cheaper?
No, actually,
same.
so technically, in today's day and age, a dark potato chip is actually considered a defect, right?
Okay,
And
yeah.
I think that we've just been conditioned to think that a potato chip should be this white thing that it looks perfect, and and in reality, a potato is a product of nature, and so you can only manipulate so much to get what you want out of it. And so 50 years ago, the potato chips that people ate looked a lot different than they do now.
Okay.
And so, it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, but to pay homage to what used to happen, the rainbow is kind of a throwback.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One more question I want to get on video. It's kind of a joke question. Do you have any plans to include tongs with your chips so people can eat them without getting residue on their fingers, or spoons for eating the small pieces at the bottom of the bag?
So no tongs and no spoons. However, if you just lift the bag up, you can actually kind of get it right in your mouth without getting dirty. So
Yeah, I do that. I feel like a horse with a feed bag on, but it works well. Thank you, Phil. Well, the rainbow chips are pretty good.
Yeah. So we did ask how many different flavors of chips they had, and he said there were 16 or 17, but he was really excited to tell us about the new all dressed potato chips, which we've already eaten almost a full bag of, and they're so good. We love all dressed potato chips, and I'm sure our friends to the north in Canada are also very proud to share this delicious culinary wonder with us. They've only been out for about 4 weeks now, but they're hard to find on the shelves because everybody's loving them.
That's good.
Some of the other like favorite flavors people have when we were talking about it was the Red Hot, and they've got a bunch of different barbecue chips, but also the rainbow ones were another favorite for people. They've got barbecue, honey barbecue, hot barbecue, sweet barbecue. I mean, just so many barbecues.
Popcorn.
And they've got the popcorn, white
Not
cheddar.
barbecue though.
Yeah.
That's an idea. Barbecue popcorn.
Yeah. And they do sell the seasonings too separately. So
like
that's
in
another
that
thing that
snack
we
shop.
didn't get too much into, but like online or in their retail shop you can get just the seasoning, because I know that people really like the way some of these like very signature flavors like the Red Hot taste.
So, Erin,
Yes.
when would you guess is the busiest time for buying chips?
Before this I wouldn't have guessed because I couldn't possibly, maybe like the summer?
Close. It's Mother's Day.
It's crazy still. I can't believe it.
Because the menfolk have to cook and they can make the meat, but for the potatoes, they need to use potato chips.
That was the information we were given. It doesn't really line up with the way our household works, but it was fun to hear that it actually is their busiest season, Mother's Day.
Erin, come on, let's conform to gender norms.
No, I don't know. But in addition to being a great economic impact on the area, Better Made also strives to be a really good steward of the resources. So they keep their water usage low, they repurpose waste. We're going to talk a lot more about that as we take you on the tour that we got to go on. So let's go. Better Made Snack Foods was founded in 1930, and it's been in its current location where it's had a lot of room to expand since the 40s. It started off as only 5,000 square feet, but now takes up about 250,000 square feet. 250,000 to 300,000 pounds of potatoes are processed into delicious snacks here 5 days a week. It only takes 7 minutes to go from whole potato to a bag of chips. First, the potatoes are washed and peeled. The peels don't go to the landfill though. They go to local farms to help feed the livestock. They only use about 8 gallons of water per minute because they're constantly cleaning and reusing the water so they can preserve it. Old methods used to use 200 to 300 gallons a minute. Once the potatoes are peeled, they go into the slicer. They're rinsed all the way through, and after they're sliced, they're washed and rinsed some more, and all the starch that comes off of them used to just get washed down the drain, but now they preserve it so that it can be used by a local Michigan distiller to make vodka. As the slices go through their final rinse, they're ready to make their way into the fryer. What comes out next is magic. Beautiful, perfect potato chips. This is where Phil said that he was going to ruin us forever and let us try the fresh, hot out of the fryer potato chips. And he was absolutely right. We cannot ever fully appreciate a different chip again. These are the potato sticks that Better Made also makes. And if you haven't had a chance to try a potato stick, I highly recommend it. The potato sticks go up a conveyor belt just like the potato chips do. These MC Escher type conveyor belts take them over to the machines that will package them. These are the vertical form fill and seal machines. The bags are formed into a tube, filled with chips, and then sealed. The bag then travels over to the machine that stacks them into boxes. They have so many different machines to fill them in all the different types of packaging that they have, and they make sure that the right snack goes in the right bag. They also do work with private labels, which we can't show you because that's giving away secrets, but they all have the same kind of setup. Once the chips are bagged, they head over to the machine that puts them into the boxes. It stacks the bags of chips uniformly, and then it seals the box and puts it on a conveyor belt to head on over to the warehouse. Up on the second story, we got to catch a glimpse and a whiff of the delicious popcorn they were making that day. We got to have some fresh bags of the cheddar popcorn. When the finished product comes down into the warehouse, each box is x-rayed with a similar machine to what they use in the airport for quality control. The boxes are then stacked on pallets and wrapped in plastic. They are careful to load the boxes in a certain way so that the product is continually being rotated and the oldest are going out first to the various local and faraway places where they will be sold at. They keep expanding and improving, but there is a depth of nearly 100 years of history in the factory, like the original sign that used to be outside in the Michigan weather. The Better Made factory isn't open to the public, but they do have a retail store attached to it. By the parking area, there are windows that you can look in to see the factory. And when you go inside, you can get any of the products that they make, and that's our Better Made tour.